Hi, Tim Horschler, New Voyage of Trading. We're going to put your Kromski Harp together today. Follow along with your written instructions and use the videos as just a confirmation of what you're doing. The first thing we're going to do is put the frame, the beams, and the cross supports onto the loom. There are front and rear beams. The front teeth point towards the back and the back teeth point towards the front. You want to make sure they go on and the ratchets go on the right hand side of the loom like this. Okay, you're going to be putting this together with these about 1.5 inch long screws, and they're going to come in from the side and engage the braces, and they are numbered. Just line up the numbers the Kromskis have put on here and go from there. Okay, we've got the frame put together. The Kromski name is on the front side, on both sides. You've got the front beam on and the back beam. You got to make sure that they're on correctly. Now we're going to add the pawls that engage the ratchets over here. And what we want you to do first is take a piece of sandpaper and just rub that sharp beak of the pawl, make it a little flatter, and then using a pan head screw, you're going to attach the ratchets here in front. Right in here, and the same here in the back, so that they engage the ratchet. Further, you're going to take the 4 handles that you received with your harp. There's about 1 inch screw. These go on the end of the beams here. There are a hole marked with that you need to put that screw through. So attach the pawls and attach the handles here to the beams. Okay, now we're going to attach the heddle blocks to the side of the loom. There is a right and a left heddle block. The opening space here is going to be towards the front of the loom here. And there's a little peg here. It goes through the little stubby hole we have here, and then this carriage bolt holds the heddle block in place. And we're going to secure it on the outside of the frame with a washer and a wing nut. Okay, as you can see, we've got the heddle blocks on, and they're secured, and this space back here is for a second set of heddle blocks should there be a time when you want to use 2 heddles on your loom. So the original heddle blocks that come with your loom take the front position. Now we're going to be dealing with the strings that come with your loom. These are to attach the little round dowel to the back and the front of the loom. And what we're going to do is we're going to, let's light a candle here to get going. Happy birthday. You want all of these strings to be exactly the same length. So line them up, mark them, and then cut them. And what you want to do is fuse them together. And we're going to use a candle to do that. And I'll show you how. It's pretty easy. You're going to stick the ends into the flame. You're going to allow them to begin to melt, and then you're going to butt the 2 ends together and hold them until they start to adhere. And you'll be able to test whether you've done it right or not. And if not, you just repeat it. So into the flame. If they catch on fire, just shake them out. And we push them together and hold them. And when you think the temperature is right, and you can kind of see it when you wiggle your fingers a little bit, you can press the ends together. All right, let's do another one. I hold them fairly close into the flame and then push together. And then I try to compress that little plastic part. Now, once they've dried for a minute or 2, you can test them to see if they're strong just by pulling them like this. And if they come apart, you just have to repeat it. But if it does this and they hold together, you're all set to go. Okay, we've got our strings together and we want to put them on the front and the back beam. This is the back beam here. This has 4 holes in it. If you've got larger looms, there'll be more holes, but simply take the ends and push them through one side and bring it through, and so you're creating a connection like that. And you want to do this all along the beams, front and back beams, so that they're laid out like this across the length of the back and the front beam. Okay, we're almost done. As you can see, we've got the strings on the front and the this is the front and the back part of the loom. Here on the back, we've got the Heddle helper over here, warp helper, excuse me. This the beam goes through here. This is going to hold your beam stick as you warp, but notice that we've put these strings on the warp helper as well. This beam stick, you would actually slide these on as you work your warp across here, but I wanted to show you how they're done, and you'll be doing the same with the front beam as well. Let's look at some of the other parts. This is your rigid Heddle, and this is in the neutral position, and it stands up by itself in that position. You've got a warping peg. You can use this with a clamp if you want to create your warp using a warping peg. You also have a total of 2 clamps. You can clamp your loom to a table while you're warping the back beam. You do not use the clamps while you're weaving. You have your Heddle hook for warping, dressing your Heddle up here, and you've got 2 stick shuttles and 1 pickup stick. And for the back of the loom, these pegs to create a warping board. So everything with the Kromski Harp is complete. This is together now. Remember, there's an optional stand. You can put in an optional second Heddle back here. Read the instructions. There are also some very nice books and videos about weaving on the rigid Heddle loom. You might want to look into this, but the Harp 16, 24, 32 inches, just a great product, easy to put together. You can do it in about 30 minutes. If you have any questions, check online or check with your written instructions. This is Tim with Tim Talks. Thanks for joining us.